Voilà, je suis partout. Ça protège. Ah, tu te mets là, le dos là, j'étais là, je t'assure que t'étais chaud ou chaud.
这里没有什么。
对，我拍一下，我拍一下。
你看垃圾都飞到天上去。
Je descends comme ça, je descends comme ça. Il y a des moments où
他说叫我们不要坐骆驼，我们反正要坐骆驼的。要走过去看吗，李伟庄？
And as they were digging through, they found this to the side of the pyramid. Now this is a picture looking at it from the top. These are actually roofing slabs covering a pit in the ground. Dug out in the bedrock and covered by these roofing slabs with a keystone. You have to lift this keystone up first, lift this one block, and then each of the others are interlocked from underneath, so they have to be pulled back and lifted up. So you can't just start from any end, you've got to start from here, lifting them out. When they lifted keystone in the first one and they looked inside, that's what they saw. Wood with an oar on the top, so obviously they realized it's a boat. But the first boat that goes around with the sun, right? But after we... And that's the original rope, and that's how they used it. Now, of course, a lot of the pieces of wood were found in a very bad state. Many of them had to be restored. It's tremendous restoration work. You can see the different, not all of them, of course, there are a few others that were laying outside. After they covered it, after the boat was all buried in there, they put the roofing slabs, they fill in between the blocks and around them with sand. And then it's plastered on the top to make it airtight. And that's what helped on the preservation of the wood. So before they could work with the original pieces, they had to make models out of everything. They made a model 1/10 of the original size of all the pieces of wood that they found, and worked on the model till they found out the shape. Then they start working on the wood after it's been restored. Now it's quite interesting how this boat was held together. As I said, they had no nail. No nails at all. So you have the wood and you have the rope. But it's not a raft. You can't just tie it together. You cannot drill holes straight through the wood and then tie it up together, because once you put the wood, the boat in the water, wood is going to come rushing through the float. So instead, what they did, within the piece of log, think of this as the piece of log, the log, they don't actually drill straight through it, they only drill at an angle to the center of the piece of wood, and then at the opposite angle from up there, so you only have the holes on one side of the wood, not on the other. Just remember, this is 4,800 years old. 4,800 years old. To reduce the tension, it was cut curved. So the wood was cut in a curved form to reduce any tension. We believe that it was brought in as huge trees from Lebanon, from the Lebanon mountains, to Memphis, the city of Memphis, the old capital of Egypt, where the manufacturing died and were buried inside these pyramids, it was still considered the sacred site. That's the third pyramid, right there. It's only 240 feet. Small one.
When is the height of the tourist season? Or is
Usually winter is, of course, Christmas, New Year, and Easter.
Okay, now as an archaeologist, I have to ask, where are the garbage dumps?
Where are the garbage dumps?
Yeah.
The ancient ones or the modern?
No, the ancient ones.
they were around the cities, where the settlements and cities were.
Typically, archaeologists excavate the garbage dumps to see what life was like. Have those been excavated?
That's dirt archaeology.
That's what I told you. That's what I did. Salvage archaeology. Everyone's had to do an outhouse.
This is a school doing an
That's been
outing.
used for 100 years.
It was the perfect day for it, with this climate. If you look to the left there, next to the small pyramid, there are
viewpoint. Okay, go ahead.
Dominantly, the whole north of Egypt is limestone, till you reach Komombo, which is just a little bit north of Aswan, where you have sandstone, and then in Aswan itself you have sandstone and granite, then south of Aswan it's sandstone again. But the north of Egypt is all part near the back of the Sphinx, which looks older.
Sphinx.
That's the restoration done during the Roman period.
Here's the Sphinx.
We're going to get out.
And in front of the Sphinx there used to be a temple. Now then it was covered internally and externally with granite. These are the ones that were collected and buried in the pit back there. Now the ancient Egyptians never used mortar in their building. The building of the pyramids, there was no mortar used at all. The stones were polished and slid on top of each other. They did the same thing also in
Abraham. Yes. Abraham. Okay, Abraham. Good name.
meals. You've gotta eat right. About 90.
Maybe he had practice.
It was fine.
That's news to me. I don't think you get anything.
And the pizza bread, he was asking about the pizza bread. Bring it to our tables, pizza bread, fresh pizza bread, straight out of the oven.
Can we take a photo?
And then Liz, you can see them making it right in there, the pizza bread.
Start and the camel starts drinking the water, you stand behind the with 2 bricks. When it's about finished drinking, you slam the 2 bricks on the special focus. And with that water, he'll make it all the way across.
Oh boy. Now you've started this camel